Hello, happy Friday. Welcome. Thank you for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Gumansing. The Superior Court of the Virgin Islands hosted the official investiture ceremony for the newest appointed judicial officer in the District of St. Thomas, St. John. The investiture ceremony for the Honorable Judge Rene Gums Carty was held in the ceremonial courtroom of the Superior Court of the Virgin Islands at the Alexander Fowley Justice Center, St. Thomas. Here's more.
Judge Carty is a Virgin Islander by birth, and she is a Virgin Islander, as I like to say, by the scrub of life. She came through our public education system. She came through our homegrown University of the Virgin Islands and went on to law school and was successful and came back in the Virgin Islands and clerked on the court, and ended up working in the Department of Property and Procurement and then at the Department of Justice in the Solicitor General's office. And clearly her success and her star began to rise in her work in the criminal division of the Department of Justice.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you for the opportunity and for the vote of confidence in me. You have entrusted me to serve further my community as a judge of the Superior Court of the Virgin Islands, and I will serve with honor. I will not let you down. I will not let this community down. My desire and commitment to ensuring a safe community through the administration of justice is built on solid ground. I am prepared, I am willing, and I am quite capable of fulfilling the duties and responsibilities as prescribed by law.
Meanwhile, members of the Committee on Rules and Judiciary, chaired by Senator Kenneth Gittens at the Senate, held a meeting at the Capitol building on Friday to vote on several bills, including Bill number 31-0256, as it relates to the interest rate paid by VI Water and Power Authority on customer deposits at a rate equal to the average prevailing interest rate paid by the banks. Ultimately, lawmakers voted and approved the bill. Committee members also considered and approved the following bill, number 31-0372, an act temporarily raising the mandatory retirement age for police officers, firefighters, and prison guards. All bills approved will be forwarded to the full body for further consideration. No arrest has been made in connection with a series of violent home invasions and rapes on the East End. VI Police Commissioner Delroy Richards Sr. has said that police have been questioning persons of interest, but the investigation is still ongoing. They say there has been no reported rape since the last occurred on September 7th. The first gunpoint rape was reported on August 15th in the Pillsbury Heights area of Smith Bay around 4:30 a.m. and another in Friedenhoy 4:15 a.m. on September 7th. Members of the community have reported, however, that there was another in the area following that first rape. Harris Police Chief Marsh.
The department is still following up on leads, and we have detectives putting a lot of man hours trying to apprehend the suspect. We remind the public to make sure that they secure their doors at night before they go to bed, when they live in their homes. Improve the lighting around their homes. If at all possible, install motion sensors are the best types. So when someone walks close to your home, that it lights up. If you have bushes around your home, make sure that they're kept low and you have visibility.
VIPD Crime Prevention Bureau, they're hosting island-wide community meetings for residents, and these series of meetings kicks off on Tuesday, September 20th at Curran Terrace Community Center in Bournefield at 6 p.m. Then on Wednesday, September 21st at Ivana Udoracan High School, Red Hook, and on Thursday, September 22nd in our content at 6 p.m. The VIPD Crime Prevention Bureau, Criminal Investigations Bureau, and various members from the VIPD team will be on hand to discuss pertinent issues and updates relating to crime in your neighborhood. In response to the reported sexual assaults that has occurred in the St. Thomas district, the U.S. Virgin Islands Department of Health's Division of Mental Health alcoholism and drug dependency, they're extending their counseling and crisis intervention services to those who have survived traumatic emergencies. The department encourages the residents in the St. Thomas St. John district to seek out the Mental Health Division as a resource with regards to recovery. Mental Health Division offers resources to assist with the healing process, to include information, dissemination, counseling services, and crisis intervention pertaining to trauma, informed care, and the effects of trauma associated with such occurrences to survivors and their families. On Friday, September 16, at about 7:03 a.m., Criminals Investigations Bureau executed an arrest and search warrant for Alex Gonzalez of Williams Light, Frederickstead. Gonzalez was arrested for unauthorized use of a firearm, possession of ammo, and failure to report obtaining a firearm or brought into the territory. Bail was set at $50,000. Alex Gonzalez was rearrested during the arrest and search warrant execution. Gonzalez was also charged for possession of stolen property, possession of controlled substance with intent to distribute, and possession of ammunition. Bail was set at $25,000. Mr. Gonzalez was remanded to the Golden Grove Detention Facility pending advice of rights hearing on both of these arrest charges. If your child rides in car seats that are not installed correctly, they will not be protected in a crash. That is the main message organizers of this year's car seat giveaway is hoping to share with the general public. It was held on St. Thomas today. Members of the Office of Highway Safety were on site at the Anna's Retreat Community Center. The Virgin Islands Office of Highway Safety is hosting free car and booster seat clinics in celebration of Child Passenger Safety Week.
We have seen at our clinics in the past that parents would drive in with their seats buckled and the kids bouncing around in the car. That is very, very dangerous. These kids in a traffic crash can become a projectile. Sometimes we might lose them flying out the car, hitting a next person, injuring them. So we want to keep our kids safe in the community, and that's why we're doing this.
Attendees were asked to bring the child's birth certificate, car registration, and insurance and driver's license. The experts say it's very important to read the owner manuals of your car seat. Also be sure to send in the registration card when you buy a car seat so the manufacturer can notify you of any recalls or problems.
This next week will be Child Passenger Safety Week, in which we celebrate child passenger safety. And annually, this is what we do. We give out car and booster seats free of charge from a grant from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. And this is what we did. We did it up on St. John yesterday, and the turnout was a little low, but usually that's the case for St. John. This year, it's like maybe 12 o'clock, and we're almost done. And I'm really, really happy that parents are coming out to do this. We would greatly appreciate if parents would put their children in car and booster seats for their own safety.
Now, the event was held on St. John on Thursday, and the very next one is scheduled for St. Croix, Friday, September 23rd, at the former St. Dunstan School before the Easterly Building in Christiansted, and that's from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Turn our attention to D.C. In a Washington, D.C. press conference at his new hotel, Donald Trump said today for the first time that President Barack Obama was born in the United States. Diane Gallagher has that story.
Barack Obama has been the president for nearly 8 years, but Friday, his birthplace, once again dominating a presidential campaign trail. This time with one of the country's most prominent so-called birthers, Republican nominee Donald Trump, finally acknowledging that President Obama was, in fact, born here.
President Barack Obama was born in the United States, period.
It's a far cry from the conspiracy theory Trump has been peddling for years.
Why doesn't he show his birth certificate? I thought he was probably born in this country, and now I really have a much bigger doubt.
He gave a birth certificate. Whether or not that was a real certificate, because a lot of people question it, I certainly question it.
Earlier today, Hillary Clinton blasted her opponent.
His campaign was founded on this outrageous lie. There is no erasing it in history.
Trump, meanwhile, tried to place the birther blame on her.
Hillary Clinton and her campaign of 2008 started the birther controversy. I finished it.
Now, factcheck.org determined that is not true. saying that back then Clinton may have stoked questions about Obama's identity, but never herself questioned his birth certificate. The president, meanwhile, seems, well, over it.
I was pretty confident about where I was born. I think most people were as well.
In Washington, I'm Diane Gallagher.
Keeping our eye on the economy, shipping giant UPS is planning to hire 95,000 workers ahead of the holiday shopping season. The spokesman says UPS is looking for package handlers and delivery drivers, including tractor-trailer drivers. He says pay for seasonal workers ranges from just over $10 an hour up to $30 an hour. The spokesman added that roughly 37% of seasonal hires in the last 3 years have been hired permanently. Here's a look at the stock market watch at the New York Stock Exchange. Everything down. The Dow 88, NASDAQ 5, S&P 500 also down at 8. Coming up on News 2, Junior Achievement of the Virgin Islands received a wonderful and very sizable monetary gift, a donation for $40,000. Find out who gave the generous donation. Welcome back. We reported on the Joint Election Board's vote for one ballot in the general election that could mar the integrity of the election process. Incumbent election board members are running for re-election, and with one ballot, there's a potential for unfair advantage if they need to make decisions on the ballots rejected by the machines. Well, on Friday, Joint Election Board Chairman Arturo Watlington clarified that this affects not just the St. Thomas Board, but the St. Croix Board as well. Once on St. Croix, 3 board members are running for re-election: Liliana Belardo de O'Neill, Lisa Harris-Moorhead, and Glenn Webster. Today, Junior Achievement of the Virgin Islands received a wonderful donation, a wonderful gift for $40,000. Jason Charles, Chief of External Affairs at Alpine Security, states Junior Achievement says does great work in the community, and Alpine wants to help them continue their mission.
We're going to present Junior Achievement Program of the Virgin Islands with a check of $40,000 for them to continue their activities of bringing financial literacy to the students of the Virgin Islands. We really appreciate what you do.
I'd like to thank Alpine Securities, who has been our firm partner for a number of years now, and especially the public school system, Dr. McCollum, all that Ms. Sinclair, Ms. Norman, Mr. Hewitt, and all the partners that we have across the territory that allow us to bring these programs to the schools.
On behalf of Commissioner Sharon Ann McCollum and Superintendent Colleen Williams, I want to thank Alpine Security for this wonderful gift. Junior Achievers has done a lot for the students of the Virgin Islands, and we have better students because of their contribution.
Great donation there. The new number of Zika cases in the territory this week is now at 47. 22 pregnant women have been confirmed and 12 are presumptive positive. Virgin Islands government officials from the Department of Health and other agencies were joined by 2 officials of the Federal Centers for Disease Control and Prevention to present information about the virus. Michelle Everin Watley, public health specialist at the CDC, and Michael Waldmiller, public health advisor, distributed informative publications and responded to questions during the meeting September 14th at the St. Andrew's Episcopal Church in Sugar State. The USVI, according to the CDC, has one of the most comprehensive and effective education and prevention programs in the nation. The territory is being commended for the town hall meetings and specific preventive actions. Infectious disease specialists at the University of Florida, meanwhile, say they have confirmed the existence of a new mosquito-borne illness called the Mayaro virus. It was detected in a patient in Haiti. They say the virus is closely related to the chikungunya virus, but researchers say they do not know if it's caused by the same Aedes aegypti mosquito that has been linked to the chikungunya virus. Whether the confirmed case signals the start of a new outbreak in the Caribbean region, researchers do not know. The Big Island once again will be hosting the VIPR Friendship Village, and here's a quick look at some of the events coming up shortly. On Sunday, October 2nd, it's the Fiesta del Bate, cultural activity and family fun day at the Butto Park in Frederickstead. Special performance by the Grupo Son Libre of Puerto Rico. Then the following Thursday, there is a sacred night service at 6 p.m. and at 7:30 p.m. an opening softball tournament at the D.C. Canagator Ballpark. On Friday, October 7th, the village opens at the D.C. Canagator Ballpark in Christiansted. Now here is St. Croix's VIPR Friendship Day Committee with the 2016 Miss VIPR Friendship Queen, Brianna Almestica. Her coronation is set for 7 p.m. on Saturday, September 17th at Villa Morales Restaurant in Frederiksted. This year's village is named in honor of Pedro Cruz, who is the commissioner of the Department of Sports, Parks, and Recreation. Also, don't forget, the public is invited to celebrate BVI USVI Friendship Day at a special cultural program beginning at 10:30 a.m. on Saturday, September 17th at the Reichel Center for the Arts on St. Thomas. A delegation of government officials and civic leaders from the BVI will travel to St. Thomas to take part in activities celebrating the special relationship between the United States and the British Virgin Islands. Governor Mapp urged residents to attend Saturday's program, which will include remarks from representatives from both the USVI and BVI. This year marks the 43rd official commemoration of the friendship between the islands. A 10-day Indian festival is just ended, and the Indian community came together. The India Association of the VI, they celebrated the end of Ganesha Chaturthi at its cultural center in Frenchman's Bay, St. Thomas. The festival honors the elephant-headed god Ganesha. Attendees gathered to whisper wishes and prayers into the ears of Lord Ganesha, a tradition. They also sang songs of worship and presented offerings of fruit and flowers. Nationally, beautiful handcrafted idols are installed both in homes and in the public. Many will be hitting the beach this weekend for Coast Weeks, but be sure to stick around. We'll see what the weather looks like. Weather forecast is coming up next.
Today was a pretty decent day for the most part, just a couple of brief passing showers. Over the weekend, though, we're going to have an uptick in moisture as a tropical wave starts to move through the area and over the islands. It's not going to be too wet, but definitely an uptick in the number of showers that we're going to be seeing. Into tonight, we're going to have a moonlit sky, so pretty nice for this evening. Can't rule out those passing showers. Your low for tonight, 79 degrees. Now come tomorrow, St. John, 90 degrees. It's going to be partly sunny, but as I said, that uptick in moisture will bring in some more clouds as well as that tropical wave moves through the islands. Out in St. Thomas, 90 degrees, partly sunny. We will be seeing those showers out there as well. And in St. Croix, those temperatures drop into the upper 80s, and those showers will continue in that area. As we head into your marine forecast on the Atlantic, we really can't get any better marine conditions to get out there on your boats. So your waves are sitting around 1 to 3 feet, very calm. Your winds out of the east, 5 to 10 knots. We're going to see the same story on the Caribbean side, waves 1 to 3 feet. Out of the east, 10 to 15 knots. So before we get more of that moisture and that wave moving through over the weekend, this is the time to get out on the water. Take a look at your extended forecast. We're going to see a shower or two throughout the weekend for the most part, and then that wave is going to push past us. We'll get a couple of stray showers from that come Monday as well, but come Tuesday, we'll return to a normal pattern of a passing trade wind shower or two. That's going to continue into Wednesday, but later in the week, we're keeping an eye on Tropical Storm Carl. That's going to be passing off to the northeast of us, hopefully later in the week, and that could actually be bringing even drier air. So great conditions coming up for late next week. Back to you, Sandy.
Thank you for that. Time for our News 2 weather picture there by Rishander Hoheb of E. Benjamin Oliver Elementary School of 4th graders, sharing some sunshine that we'd like to see heading into the weekend. Rishanda, hope you have a wonderful one. Thank you for that. Send us your News 2 weather picture to the address right there on the screen. Be sure to include all the information and then tune in to see it right here on News 2. Stick around. News 2 Sports is coming up next.
I'm Gary Anthony, and this is News2 Sports. Can you have a must-win situation in Week 2 of the NFL season? You can if you're the New York Jets, especially when you face 5 playoff teams from last year in your first 6 games, and you're already 0-1. Game 2 is a must. Let's shuffle off to Buffalo, where the Jets take on the Buffalo Bills on Thursday Night Football. First quarter action, and Marquise Goodwin blows by Darrelle Revis for the 84-yard TD. Revis Island has become a vacation paradise for opposing wide receivers so far this season. Third quarter, Jets up 20-13, and the Bills strike quickly. Tyrod Taylor to ex-Jet Greg Salas for the 71-yard bomb. Next Jets possession, Jalen Marshall fumbles, scooped up by Roby Coleman, who scampers in for the TD. Bills up 24-10. Now, I know what you're thinking. Same old Jets? Wrong. Matt Forte with the 3-yard TD run. Jets up 27-24. On to the fourth quarter. Forte again glides in with a 12-yard TD. That's 3 TDs and 100 yards for Forte, 374 passing yards for Fitzpatrick, and the Jets break the 5-game losing streak to the Bills with the 37-31 win. Sunday, the Steelers take on the Bengals in what has become a recent, very bitter rivalry in the AFC North. Bengals wide receiver A.J. Green scorched the Jets last week for 180 yards, and QB Andy Dalton threw for over 300. The Steelers trio of Roethlisberger, D'Angelo Williams, and Antonio Brown are the most unstoppable force in the NFL. I like the Steelers to win. From the end zone to off the backboard and into the net, the Alan D. Burke Foundation focuses on young men ages 10 to 18 and provides support through scholarship, academics, sports, community service, and mentor programs. The 5th annual Alan Burke Foundation basketball tournament tipped off yesterday and continues throughout the weekend at St. Croix Central High School gym. 48 games will be played during the 4 days of the tournament, with teams from the Virgin Islands, the BVI, other Caribbean nations, and North Carolina. Tickets are $3 for kids and $5 for adults. Games begin at 8:00 a.m. on Saturday, with the championship games on Sunday.
It started out as something as just what if, and something to epic proportions, and we would have never imagined that Larry Johnson would be here. Walt Clyde Frazier is also coming. He's no stranger to St. Croix, and again, back in his 3rd trip is Nate Tiny Archibald, and would please come on out to the Central High Gymnasium, the Ronald Charles, gymnasium, and just be prepared to have a great experience over the weekend.
That's it for sports. Sandy, back to you.
Thanks for that, Gary. And we would like to thank you for joining